Hey guys! I am speaking to you from the Flathead National Forest. It is right outside of Glacier National Park in Montana. I've been kind of hopping around the last couple days and hanging out in Glacier National Park. I had an excellent swim in Lake McDonald a couple days ago. That was so great, and I laid out and just taking it really easy. I haven't done anything too crazy. I have found myself at probably one of the greatest campsites I will ever find. I found this campsite using freecampsites.com. I met a bunch of peers last night. We all stayed up and had a really fun bonfire together. So I even met another YouTuber van dweller from Minnesota, so like that's kind of crazy. I've just been kind of taking it easy and just kind of settling into a new sort of style of travel. The East Coast was go, lots of cities, lots of like Walmart parking lots, and being here, it's just gonna be a lot different. So I'm getting used to like the quiet and just kind of slowing down, and it's been really nice. I've needed it, but it is time. I have some questions that you guys asked me. Thank you to everyone who asked me a question. I tend to ramble, so we don't want to be here all night. The sun's a-setting. Are there bears, and are you afraid to sleep in a tent? Well, yes, there are bears. There are a lot of bears here, but I have bear spray, so that's good. I don't sleep in a tent right now. I slept in a tent when Leah was here. I wasn't really scared because I wasn't alone, and I follow the rules of like, don't put perfume in your tent, don't put food in your tent, you know. It never really concerned me, but right now I am sleeping in my van. Honestly, my van is much more comfortable than my tent because I don't really have a proper sleeping pad. I just use a yoga mat, and it's really nice up in the mountains because the nights and the mornings get really cold, so it's just really nice to be in my car. I love using my sleeping bag and getting all cozy, and it's great. What do you eat? I do eat out a lot. I do, as you guys know, if you've watched any of my money videos, which if all goes according to plan, I'll be filming another money video tonight because I got the goods for you guys. But I eat out a lot. Maybe like half my budget goes to food and alcohol. It's just, you know, I've been in the service industry for years and all my friends are foodies, and it's just kind of habit at this point. I'm a little spoiled, what can I say? When I'm not eating out, however, I eat a ton of protein bars, Cliff bars. I eat almonds. I like raw, unsalted almonds. I'm kind of boring. I eat a lot of apples, bananas, oranges. I prefer fruit that I have to peel because then I don't have to clean it as much. I eat a lot of tomatoes. I get hummus all the time. I could honestly eat hummus every day of my life and I would never get sick of it. I drink a ton of tea, like black iced tea, unsweetened, and Powerades, and water. Now that I'm, you know, getting out into the wilderness, I might prepare more foods, but honestly I haven't really prepared any foods since I left. And I barely did when I was back home either, so like nothing's changed. How do you deal with personal care? Well, I sort of answered this in my first Q&A, but I have a gym membership to Planet Fitness. They're located all over the place, so I can shower in most places. Montana is the one area that is not that way. Fortunately for me, Leah got us a hotel room a few nights ago, so I did take a nice, long, deep cleansing shower back then. And if for some reason I end up feeling really disgusting, I can always pay for a shower. They're like $5, which, you know, I will avoid at all costs. Honestly, like the water here is so clean. I just went swimming a couple days ago and the swim made me feel really good. And then I just wipe off with baby wipes. So lots of baby wipes, and I haven't really been having a lot of issues as far as like, I haven't gotten any rashes or acne or anything, and yeah, I think I have been staying pretty clean, but I don't really go out of my way. Back home I never showered as often as most Americans do, at least, so, but I do okay. How do you handle when a public place does not let you use the bathroom? You know, I really ran into this problem in New York City. I drink so much water. I just love to like be as hydrated as possible, especially because like I kind of eat a lot of salty foods. I drink a lot of alcohol, like, so I'm drinking a lot of water just to like stay hydrated, and I think it's really important. But that means I have to go to the bathroom a lot, and I just hold it until I find a bathroom. You know, sometimes I have to purchase something. Sometimes I'm really sneaky. Like one time, in San Antonio, Texas, I really had to go and I could not find a bathroom. I walked into a McDonald's and you needed a code to get the door open to the bathroom, and I just stood in front of the door until someone came out. You do what you gotta do. And of course there's always peeing on the side of the road if you really have to, but I don't really have to do that very often. I'm on top of it. Are you coming back north to Canada? Yes, duh. How could I not? And I'm so excited too. I'm still gonna spend like a good few more days in Montana. I really love it here. This was the birthplace of this trip, and then I am heading into Canada, to Banff, and then to Vancouver. And then, long story short, driving all the way south to San Diego. So lots of time on the coast, and then I'm gonna be swinging up through the Grand Canyon, and Colorado is gonna be my last official stop, and then I gotta bust home for my friend's wedding. So that's my West Coast itinerary. I don't like getting into too much detail because it always changes. But yes, I'm going to Canada, unless they don't let me in, which they will. When will you finish your amazing trip? Well, I sort of just answered that. My friend is getting married on October 7th, and I intend on being there. Sorry I keep looking over this way. There's cars and people. Are you planning on traveling forever if you get enough Patreons? Well, that would be nice. You know, of course, I mean, the way you phrase that question, no. First thing is, forever is a long time, and I would love to continue traveling, but I assume at one point or another I'll start slowing down. And getting enough Patreons so that I can, well, you know, as cool as it would be to have like the support of my viewers, I don't think it's fair to ever bank on that. I would love to continue doing what I'm doing and making YouTube videos, but I'm hoping to get some income from an outside source, such as a sponsorship, or I don't know. That's a really hard thing to answer. However, I do want to try. Of course, the Patreon support is absolutely incredible and so appreciated. It's just very touching on an emotional level as well as on a financial level. So, and to all my Patreons who are watching right now, let me just say another like huge thank you for what you guys are doing for me. It's just really touching. What's your overall take on #VanLife? Are you considering making this a long-term living style? And would you consider living in your van full-time to save on rent? Great question. I'll start at the top. #VanLife. When you say that, I kind of think of just this general movement and how common it is for people my age especially to live in your van and do a long-term kind of trip. I think it's awesome. I'm in full support of anyone who takes that leap. I think some people like to put a negative stigma around things that get popular like that, and yet we're still the minority. I think it's super important, and I think every person would benefit from doing some sort of long-term travel. As far as living in your van, for me it really started with tiny houses, and then I started researching a lot of like RVs, and living in your van it just makes so much sense to me. It really does. I think it's a beautiful movement, and I'm happy to be a small fraction of it. I just like, how could you feel any other way other than happy for them? They're doing something that's unconventional, and they're doing it for themselves, so I think it's great. Are you considering making this a long-term living style? Yeah, absolutely. I am very happy doing this. I feel like it really suits my personality. I have this kind of like deep, passionate fire inside of me that was not there before, and I just feel like I still have a long way to go, but I think this is making me a better person little by little, I suppose, and I don't want to lose that momentum. I would love to continue it until it doesn't feel right, you know? Oh, my leg is so asleep right now. Crap. Of course, Minnie, the Mazda, I would prefer to move out of her soon. I think it would be awesome to have more space because it's basically living in a car. So it's tight. So I would love to, upgrade. So would you consider living in your van full time to save on rent? So yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna combine that question with another question, which is, my leg is so asleep. What are you planning to do after you finish your trip? Well, it's a loaded question. Yeah, I would like to continue this. I am starting to make a little bit of income from the videos and from my Patreon supporters. Thank you again. But it's not a living wage by any means, even if I don't have rent. I want to figure out how I can keep doing this and make some money and be able to kind of live my dream and keep making videos. I can't believe how much joy this hobby has brought me, and if I could do it as a full-time thing, I would absolutely do that, and I would absolutely love to do that. So I'm gonna go home and probably hang out in Minneapolis through the holidays, so October, November, December, and then I'm hoping to have some sort of game plan, like a concrete next step by January or February at the latest. I don't know what that is. It could be international travel. It could be moving into a bigger van. It could be getting a job somewhere other than Minnesota. I have no idea. The biggest challenge for me is I want to continue living in Minnie, but Minnesota winters are so cold. She is not equipped to house me safely in the winter months. So it's a matter of staying in Minnesota, leaving right away, getting a job, YouTube. There's, as you can tell, there's just so much unknown for me at this point. And I think about it constantly. So hopefully I will have some answers for that soon, but I want to continue living in a van and I want to continue making YouTube videos. I've been so busy with travel and having my own experiences that part of me is very excited for when the trip is done. I can refocus a lot more energy into the channel and give you guys less of the vlogs, more of like the information that I've been gaining throughout this trip. And I'm excited for that step as well, because I think it'll be really fun for me to make and also very helpful to people who watch these videos. Someone asked me what my horoscope sign is, and I'm a Sagittarius. Represent. I feel like a Saggy through and through to infinity and beyond, so I'm a proud Saggy. And another question, just to end on, that I get asked quite often that I have not yet explained is, where did I get my YouTube name from? I birthed this channel about a year before I ever made a video. So I actually went in, made my new email address, made all my accounts, got the name, and then a year later I started making videos, which is kind of crazy. Why wouldn't you just make videos? But I just didn't have the time, and it took a lot of courage to get started, believe it or not. But Holli and Huckleberry, well, I threw around a bunch of ideas. One was Holli the Explorer. That was the one I almost did. And there was a period of time where I regretted not doing Holli the Explorer. But now I love Holli and Huckleberry. I think it's perfect. I think it fits me, fits the channel, and is, yeah, true representation of myself. That's what I'm trying to make this channel be. I want it to be as authentic as possible. How I got it was I was watching Breakfast at Tiffany's and Moon River, Audrey Hepburn sings Moon River, and part of the song is My Huckleberry Friend, Moon River and Me, and it's a song about going on an adventure and just kind of escaping and getting lost, and in many ways I view you guys as my Huckleberry friends, and well, I really do, but I have always identified with Holli Golightly as like a fictional character. She's like one of my favorites. I just think she's great, and I love the movie as well, and I love Audrey's performance. As soon as I heard the song, I was like, you know what, that works. And that was how I got the idea. And now that I'm here in Montana, I've discovered how big huckleberries are here. Huckleberries are native to like the Wyoming-Montana region, and they're everywhere. People really market it out here. And the reason, ew, that is a huge ant. The reason it feels even more fitting today is because Montana was the birthplace of this trip. It was the thing that inspired this YouTube channel. It was the thing that inspired me living in my van. I went to Montana 2 years ago, and it's so fitting that huckleberries are from here, and I didn't even know. So I am very glad that I picked the name Holli and Huckleberry, and people ask me that all the time, especially in person. So I figured I would just throw it into the Q&A as well. Okay, I'll see you guys really soon. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys.